Here at 10 News, we are working for you to make sure your voices are heard. And joining us now are Dr. Brenda Hale, president of the Roanoke chapter of the NAACP, and Angela Dickerson, president of Blacks in Technology. Thank you all so much for being here today and offering your perspective for us. We really appreciate this.
Happy to be here.
And, talking about the local mayoral race here in Roanoke, we have 3 candidates. And have you received sufficient information from the candidates on what they propose to do about crime, which is a big topic, especially here in the Black community?
Well, I'll jump right in on that because at the NAACP, we're doing something very proactive. And it took 5 years for us to have that gun buyback in partnership with the Roanoke City Police Department and the Friends Society, which are the Quakers. And collaboratively, we have changed that paradigm in the 4-year period that we've had this. So our philosophy, everybody can do something. It should not be up to one entity or one individual because this is an epidemic in nature. And we hate premature lives lost, especially the youth in our community. So we're doing everything we can and partner with everybody we can to get that message out that you are somebody and your life is valuable, and we need you here in this community because when one young person dies prematurely, it affects the whole community. Not only the family, but it affects everyone.
Yeah, and I think we've heard quite a bit from our candidates about that because they do know it's an important issue for the entire community, not just the Black community.
And would you say that's a top issue when going into this mayoral race?
I definitely think it's important. It's on people's minds, but I think jobs are a top issue, at least for my organization and for our members, that we are really focused on having opportunities, especially for young people. They're educated, they're hungry, and we know that technology is really the way to go. There's so many tech entrepreneurs in this area. There's so much opportunity that's brimming, and we just need the support to make sure that entrepreneurs get the same support that big business gets in this region so that we can maintain that, that brain growth that we are seeing with the technology careers. The barrier to entry is so low. And you have organizations like the Roanoke Blacksburg Tech Council who are bringing a national AI conference to our region.
It's incredible.
I mean, Virginia is leading the way with AI legislation. There's great opportunities for us to drive in, and so we need to take advantage of that. I mean, next week we'll be at Hotel Roanoke talking about this.
And we've talked a lot about small businesses. And, COVID was a real disaster for But what we learned from that is that you need to sustain a business through all kind of crises and catastrophes. So we did lose a lot of small businesses, minority businesses during COVID, and we want to see money, number one, poured into them, and for them to be able to compete for contracts.
Yes, absolutely.
Minority contracting.
And we're going to touch more on that a little bit after the break and talking about opportunities as well as a controversial project that we have here in Roanoke that I know you have a perspective on. We'll continue this conversation next.
Not support the underlying measure that's being brought forward to us today. I don't support where this started from. I don't think that it started from a place of trust.
We're trying to preserve Evans Springs and make sure that it's able to be flooded appropriately, whether that's now or in the future, so that downtown doesn't get flooded.
Welcome back. We are continuing our discussion tonight with Dr. Brenda Hale and Angela Dickerson. What you just heard there are opinions from 2 Roanoke City Council members in regards to the Evans Springs project, which has been long talked about and very controversial here in the community. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
I think that the new council, and see, there's going to be a majority of 4 with the mayor, the new mayor, and the other 3 seats. It needs to be revisited. Tom Kane was our economic development chair at the Roanoke branch in AACP. 7 years he worked on a plan. And a botanical garden would have been perfect there. It would have given better jobs to residents in Northwest as opposed to working in a fast food restaurant. And once you concrete over a natural springs, it will never be the same. why take away a natural beauty? And there's beauty there, and it could be used in such a more productive way. We don't need another box store.
Right.
5 years plus, Sears has sat empty over there.
Right.
At Valley View.
Right, and I know it's so important to keep that community alive, and this project can also open up some old wounds as well.
Yes,
you know,
it did.
Absolutely. It's not a great way to build trust.
That's
and
right.
There's other ways to solve the problem that they're solving for. If we want to develop it, it's like Dr. Hale said, there's so many other ways we could do it for that community. And you talk about opportunity, the box stores and retail is not the only opportunity that we can use in Northwest. There's
Right.
so many other things that we can do in Northwest.
all right. Thank you all so much for being here and sharing your perspective. We'll be right back to News at 6 is next.